Alright, next is oil pastels that I'm going to show you. Oil pastels are like oil paints but in a bar. They're a lot of fun to work with. So you can take a color and lightly put it on. You can put it on heavy. You can smear it with your finger if you want. You can smear it with a blending stump. Layer them. So I have a blue, so I think I'll put a violet on top of that. You can see how easily they mix. You can also put white on top. Just be careful that you don't get it where you don't want it to go. And then, of course, make sure you clean it off before you go to use it or before you leave it, because you don't want the next person to get this set that has to have a messy white. So just wipe it off on a wet paper towel. Now, oils are an oil base. They will not come out of your clothes very easily, but the nice thing about oil base is that you can use some oil, some regular old cooking oil, to blend. So I'm going to put some orange down and put some red down, kind of lightly. Now I have a cup of oil and a Q-tip. I'm just going to barely dip my Q-tip in the oil. I don't need a whole lot. And I'm just going to let it smear it together. And then I can also mark now that I have some of that on there. Now if I dip again and hit this oil, it might transfer some of that color. So you got to be careful of that. You can see I can make all kinds of marks with it. I can also scratch in oil pastels to make a design come through, make a texture. So I have a needle tool. You can use a stick. You can use whatever you want, as long as it's thick enough to see your scratch. I'm going to zoom in so hopefully you can see that. Doesn't want to see that. Okay, I'll try over here. You can see where. Okay. Now you can see it. You can see where I'm scratching. Just makes a lighter line. It doesn't wipe it away, but it does remove some of it. And then I can just wipe off my needle tool or whatever I'm using to scrape it with you just kind of makes it a lighter area wherever you scratch it. You can make textures with it. So you can put on light, put it on heavy, scratch it, layer it, use some oil to blend, and experiment. Have fun, try and figure out different ways to work with oil pastels.